Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Finished. Witnessing this scene, the millions of beast men in the city immediately felt despair. Beast Emperor Webster and the other high-ranking beast men, as well as the powerful ones, were also shocked. They never expected that the magical defense shield of the imperial capital, which the empire had used countless resources to create, could only withstand one wave of attacks from the City of Angels before being shattered by a giant sword. In front of the angelic race, their strength seemed to be useless. May the beast god be with us. What level of attack is that? It feels like the power has surpassed the limits of a demigod and reached the level of a deity. Some of the powerful beastmen exclaimed in disbelief. Other beastmen felt the same way. The shield of their imperial capital was shattered by a single sword strike. This kind of power was definitely not at the demigod level. Even if cracks had already appeared on the shield when the giant sword arrived, it would have been the same. The might of a true god. Can we really withstand it? Beast Emperor Webster also lost his composure. He underestimated the angelic race and overestimated himself. If it were any other force invading, whether it be the human race, the nature elf empire, or the dragon race, it would have been extremely difficult to destroy his imperial capital's shield. But in the face of the absolute power of the angelic race, his shield was so fragile that it couldn't withstand a single blow. It had just enveloped the entire imperial capital, and the next second, it was shattered. This also made him deeply understand just how strong the mythical race was. At this moment, a strong sense of crisis came rushing towards him. Beast Emperor Webster immediately shouted, "Everyone, retreat from the city walls immediately!" Upon hearing the roar of the Beast Emperor, the beastmen on the city walls immediately retreated into the city. However, there were some who reacted slowly or were slow in speed and were blasted along with the city walls by beams of light descending from the sky. Boom, 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 boom. Countless beams of energy struck like a torrential rain on the city walls of the beastmen. The city walls of the imperial capital were instantly turned into honeycombs, and large sections of the walls collapsed, crushing and injuring countless beastmen. After 3 consecutive rounds of bombardment, the 10 floating City of Angels in the sky finally ceased their attack. At this moment, the city walls of the beastmen's imperial capital had already turned into a pile of rubble, burying a large number of beastmen corpses. Even some beastmen at the saint rank level who didn't have time to escape also died in this bombardment. Of course, this was not important. What was important was that all the magical energy cannons installed on the city walls were destroyed. Next was the angelic army's main stage. It can be seen. The entire beastmen's imperial capital fell into chaos. Even timid beastmen, such as rabbitmen and ratmen, were screaming and fleeing for their lives. However, the majority of beastmen calmed down under the roar of Beast Emperor Webster and the other high-ranking beastmen, and they picked up their weapons and gathered. The City of Angels, suspended in the sky, did not continue its attack. But all the beastmen knew that this was not the end. The war had just begun. They were about to face the legendary Angel Army. Under the gaze of countless beastmen, soon, countless figures flew out from the 10 City of Angels. They were all fully armed, with a strong fighting spirit. They formed reorganized angel legions, overlooking the millions of terrified beastmen in the imperial capital from thousands of meters in the sky. 1, 2, 3. How many angel legions are there? Oh my beast god! The total scale of this angel army is over 2 million. And there are more than 20 demigod-level powerhouses, with tens of thousands of saint-rank angels. The most terrifying thing is, there are actually 5 demigod-peak angels, and they are all 12-winged angels. Legend has it that 12-winged angels are 3rd-level angels and the commanders of the angel army. Normally, when conquering a transcendent world, the angel race would only deploy one 12-winged angel. The leaders and powerhouses of the beastmen, led by the Beast Emperor Webster. All of them had a stunned expression. Their small beastmen force was actually worth the deployment of 5 12-winged angels by the angel race? What merits and abilities did they have? Your Majesty, should we surrender? With our strength, it is impossible to defeat this angel army. In an instant, a terrifying force of law swept through. With a loud bang, the beastmen leader who wanted to surrender was instantly blown apart. Blood and flesh splattered everywhere. The surrounding beastmen were frightened and retreated. Beast Emperor Webster, with a gloomy lion face, said, "Whoever dares to mention surrender or undermine the morale of my imperial warriors will end up like this. Remember, we are the brave and fearless beastmen. Beastmen, never slaves. Beastmen, never slaves." After Beast Emperor Webster finished speaking, deafening cheers erupted from within the city. At the same time, on the other side, a group of Swan tribe leaders were secretly discussing. The Angel army is attacking forcefully, and the imperial capital cannot be defended. If we resist to the death, our entire tribe may be wiped out. We, the Swan tribe, cannot follow His Majesty to die. Since the angel race has promised us better treatment, let us strive to become the new light of the beastmen in this new era. Elders, His Majesty said, beastmen never slaves. We are just changing our beliefs, embracing the holy light. When did we become slaves? That makes sense, wise elders. After a brief discussion, the Swan tribe was the first to defect. It was also at this moment that the angel army came charging towards the Beastmen imperial capital in a mighty manner. The greatest advantage of the Beastmen clan is their charge and assault on the battlefield. Beastmen cavalry is renowned throughout the entire floating island world. Whether it's the Giant Bear Cavalry Legion, Wolf Cavalry Legion, or Barbarian Elephant Cavalry Legion, they all possess immense deterrence against many other races' legions. As for the Baiman Legion and the Kodo Beast Legion, there is no need to say more. Especially the Kodo Beast Knight Legion. Not only is it the most powerful cavalry legion of the Beastmen, but it is also known as the king of land battle cavalry in the floating island world. I ask, an army of cavalry composed of tens or even hundreds of meters long armored beasts. Which force can withstand their charge? Throughout the entire floating island, such a force cannot be found. It can be said with certainty that no cavalry legion of any race can collide with the Kodo Beast Knight Legion, the true king of land battle cavalry. However, the Kodo Beast Knight Legion also has a major flaw. That is, they cannot fly. Even at the transcendent level, it is difficult for them to take flight due to their heavy weight. And this time, the opponents that the Beastmen clan encountered are angels. Angels, each and every one of them is an aerial combat unit. This directly resulted in almost all of the Beastmen's cavalry legions, including the Kodo Beast Knight Legion, losing their advantage in land battle charges. The Angel Legion will not engage in direct frontal charges with them like the land legions of other races. Only fools would do that. The Angel Legion directly swoops down from the sky into the camps of those Beastmen cavalry legions. Even the ferocious Baiman finds it difficult to achieve a charge. The momentum of the Beastmen's grand army instantly plummeted. However, the Beastmen also have aerial combat units. In fact, they have many. For example, Harpy, Pegasus Cavalry, and Two-Headed Demon Banner, and so on. When the reorganized Angel Legion descends from the sky, these Beastmen aerial combat unit legions also, under the command of the Beast Emperor Webster, rise into the sky and engage in battle with the Angel Legion. The total number of Beastmen aerial combat units adds up to about 1 million. When they all fly up into the sky together, the scene is also very awe-inspiring. Unfortunately, it is of no use. Before the two armies formally engage, a large number of Beastmen aerial combat units are wiped out by the Angel's divine arts, and countless broken bodies fall from the sky like raindrops. And when the two armies collide, cries of agony immediately resound. The million Beastmen aerial combat units are the first to be slaughtered by the Angel Legion. Blood instantly stains the sky. In less than 10 minutes, the Beastmen's million air force is completely wiped out by the Angel Legion. Of course, not all of the Beastmen aerial combat units are killed. About one-third of the aerial combat units, under the influence of the angels' faith and divine arts, lower their heads and turn around to attack the Beastmen's grand army inside and outside the imperial capital. Witnessing this scene, all the Beastmen were stunned, including Beast Emperor Webster, as well as the high-ranking and powerful members of the Beast tribe. Beast Emperor Webster was the first to regain his senses and roared, "Where are those swan people with wings? Why didn't they intercept the Angel Legion?" Reporting, Your Majesty, the Swan tribe has betrayed us. Over 200,000 Swan people have charged out of the imperial capital and are currently fighting alongside the Angel Legion against the assembled army outside the city. Betrayal? Beast Emperor Webster was immediately dumbfounded. The sudden betrayal of the Swan tribe exceeded his expectations. He had reason to suspect that during the previous negotiations, the War Angel must have promised something to the Swan tribe. Otherwise, there would be no reason for them to betray so quickly. Damn Swan people! They will never receive the favor of the great Beast God again. Beast Emperor Webster was furious. He immediately ordered a full-scale war against the Angel Legion. Then, he took the lead and charged into the sky, heading towards a unit of the Angel Legion. At the same time, there were tens of thousands of high-ranking and powerful members of the Beast tribe closely following behind Beast Emperor Webster. The betrayal of the Swan tribe was just an exception. The vast majority of the Beast tribe had firm beliefs and adhered to the belief of Beastmen will never be slaves. As long as their will was not completely crushed, they would not surrender. Even if they died on the battlefield, they would not want to become followers of the Holy Light Camp. Roar. The roar shook the heavens and the earth. It came from the hundreds of golden behemoths. In fact, within the population of the Beast tribe, golden behemoths were not a single race, but evolved from ordinary biomen awakening hidden bloodlines. Therefore, the strength of golden behemoths was usually very powerful. At the very least, they were transcendent, and commonly, they were saint rank. From this, it can also be seen that the Golden Behemoth Overlord was very lucky to randomly obtain the Golden Behemoth unit. If luck was worse, it might have been a Silver Bioman or even an ordinary Bioman. In addition, Golden Behemoths were not the most powerful Bioman. The strongest Bioman was the Amethyst Bioman. However, the path of evolution for this type of Bioman was extremely difficult, no less than ascending from a mortal to a true god. Even within the Beast tribe, Amethyst Bioman did not exist. There used to be some in the past, but they have already gone to the Myriad Worlds battlefield. Do not confront those high-ranking angelic beings head-on. Go and attack those Legion Angels. Their strength is weaker. These are the orders from the Beast Emperor Webster to the high-ranking members of the Beast clan and the powerful ones. He continued, "Even if this war is destined to fail, we must make the angelic race pay a heavy price." Understood, Your Majesty the Beast Emperor. Countless powerful members of the Beast clan shouted in unison. The strength of the angel army is terrifying. There are at least 20 demigods. Among them, there are even 5 peak demigods. Such a luxurious lineup is something they cannot defeat. However, they can attack the small-scale angel legions on the battlefield. The majority of the small angel legions only have 1 or 2 saint-rank powerhouses, and they have a good chance of annihilating them. This not only makes the angelic race pay for their arrogance and tyranny, but also indirectly supports the Beast army on the battlefield, reducing pressure. However, the idea is beautiful, but reality is cruel. Angelia, who is stationed on the battlefield, as well as several other 12-winged divine angels, would never allow such a thing to happen. Otherwise, how would they explain themselves to the great Lord of Holy Light when they return? Although the hearts of the angels are indomitable, even if an angel dies, they can still be resurrected through the angel heart at the cost of consuming gold coins. Furthermore, there are many angels of love on the battlefield. Their resurrection magic can also redeem fallen angels. But Secretary Anne, who was ordered to control the angel army and guard the battlefield, how could she watch the powerful ones from the Beast capital disrupt the angel army's attack plan? Therefore, as soon as the powerful members of the Beast clan led by the Beast Emperor Webster rushed into the sky, Secretary Anne took action personally. She directly used the power of spatial laws to create a spatial barrier, sealing the Beast Emperor Webster and the others inside. One Beast Clan demigod reacted the fastest and tried to escape the range of the barrier, but ended up being forcefully slapped into the spatial barrier by Secretarian. Secretarian showed some mercy. If she had used a bit more force, the head of this Beast Clan demigod would have exploded from her slap. In the blink of an eye, the spatial barrier imprisoned nearly 10,000 Beast Clan powerhouses, the vast majority of them being saint-rank beastmen, with only a few being demigods. As for the other transcendent beastmen, Angelia paid no attention to them. The power of the transcendent level poses no threat to the angel legions. Even the small-scale ones can easily surround and kill transcendent level powerhouses. Boom, 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 boom. The massive spatial barrier floated in the sky. 10,000 Beast Clan powerhouses were forcibly imprisoned. They were both shocked and fearful, madly attacking the barrier in an attempt to escape. Even the Beast Emperor Webster joined the attack. You can see it. The face of the Beast Emperor Webster, a majestic lion, twisted. The Golden Lion, Byman Strongman, Tiger Strongman, and others beside him all had expressions of fear and disbelief on their faces. With just one move, he wiped out the top strongmen of their beast tribe. How terrifying is this strength? Demigods definitely can't do it. Only the eternal gods can. After all, their beast emperor is a peak demigod, and he was forcibly imprisoned, right? Looking at Angelia standing in the sky, her elegant, sacred, and noble beauty, all the imprisoned beast tribe strongmen felt an immense despair. Such a terrifying existence actually appeared in this small floating island world, and leading an army of angels to attack their empire. Where can they reason with them? How can they defeat them? Perhaps there was never any hope of victory in this war from the beginning. Their previous luck and desire for victory were ultimately just wishful thinking. Don't give up. As long as we're alive, we have a chance. Everyone listen to me. Attack the barrier with all your might. Once the barrier is broken, we can escape. Beast Emperor Webster shouted, inspiring the morale of the despairing beast tribe strongmen. As the Beast Emperor, his words were still influential. Under his leadership, tens of thousands of beast tribe strongmen forced themselves to calm down and then released their most powerful attacks, trying to shatter the spatial barrier. Once, twice, 3 times. With each attack, the spatial barrier trembled a few times. It seemed unable to withstand their power. But even after many beast tribe strongmen grew pale from exhaustion, the spatial barrier was not broken and still sealed the space within tens of thousands of meters. Your Majesty, Beast Emperor. A beast tribe demigod's voice trembled as he said, "This is not just a simple spatial barrier. The power of spatial laws within it seems to have connected with the spatial origin laws of the world. What we're attacking is not just a barrier, but the entire world. In simpler terms, without the power to destroy the entire world, it is impossible to break this spatial barrier." Beast Emperor Webster fell silent. He had actually noticed this as well. He just couldn't believe that there could be a demigod so powerful. To connect the power of one's own laws with the laws of the world, even a true god might not be able to do it, right? After all, this requires the recognition of the highest rules of the world. Could it be that the 12-winged angel really obtained the recognition of the world's rules? But how is that possible? Just when the Beast Emperor Webster and other powerful Beast Clan members were helpless against the spatial barrier. One by one, beautiful and dazzling figures surged into the spatial barrier. Under Angelia's control, the holy angels could freely enter and exit the spatial barrier, but the Beast Clan members couldn't. This implies the secret of the rules. There were tens of thousands of high-ranking angels. Among them, there were a dozen 8-winged angels and 10-winged angels at the demigod level. The rest were all at the saint rank level. Secretary An's plan was simple. Let these high-ranking angels kill the powerful Beast Clan members and elevate their own ranks. As for the ordinary Beast Clan soldiers, they were left to the relatively lower-ranked Angel Legion to besiege. The greater the difference in rank, the fewer rewards they would receive in terms of primal energy. Soldier against soldier, general against general. Only then could the overall strength of the angel army be maximized. In addition, several 12-winged angels, including Angelia, did not personally join the battle because their ranks had already reached the peak of the demigod level. Even if they killed more enemies, they would not be able to continue to level up. Their path to promotion was on the myriad worlds battlefield. However, there was one 12-winged angel assisting the angel army in battle, and she was the paradise angel Edith summoned by Lin Yu. She held a staff with a 9-pointed star at the top and angel wings decorating the shaft, and descended over the beast clan capital. She waved the staff in her hand and recited the language of the Lord. In an instant, endless rays of light appeared from the void. Then they fell onto the beast clan capital. Immediately after, a dreamlike illusion appeared in the capital. The illusion was a vast world, with countless palm-sized little angels singing melodious and sacred hymns. Any beastmen enveloped by the illusion lost themselves. They were intoxicated in the illusory paradise world created by Edith. Even if the external war became more intense, they did not regain their senses. And as the countless little angels sang their hymns, these beastmen in the illusory paradise world were quickly purified in their souls. In the end, they became followers of the Lord of Holy Light. Spreading the belief in the Holy Light was also one of the effects of the paradise magic. Its greatest function was actually to make the believer's faith in the Lord of Holy Light more firm and contribute more faith power to the Lord of Holy Light. In addition, the coverage range of the paradise magic was unbelievably large. It was several times larger than other magic of the same level of faith. Just like what was described in the information, paradise angels were not good at warfare. They only provided support. Under the efforts of paradise angel Edith and a large number of holy-type angels, on the battlefields inside and outside the beast clan capital, there were countless beastmen embracing the holy light at every moment. In just a few minutes, the number of beastmen who switched sides and embraced the light reached millions. This is truly astonishing. It can be said that in the field of spreading faith, there is basically no race that can compare to the angel race. In this field, angels are the experts. At this moment, the war inside the spatial barrier has also begun. Many seeker angels of various divine arts types immediately released their faith-based divine arts, purifying a portion of the desperate and on the verge of collapse beast clan powerhouses, causing them to surrender to the embrace of the Lord of Holy Light. Other beast clan powerhouses were also affected by the faith-based divine arts, causing their will to weaken. Their combat power plummeted. This is normal. After all, faith-based divine arts affect the soul. The largest number of war-type angels, like tigers entering a flock of sheep, one after another, beheaded those stubborn individuals who refused to bow their heads. The beast Emperor Webster also encountered his opponents. It is the war angel twins under Lin Yu's command, Oriel and Ophiel. Now, their ranks have also reached the demigod late stage one after another. One-on-one, they can both suppress the beast Emperor Webster, not to mention when the two sisters joined forces, they quickly suppress the beast Emperor Webster to the point where he can't resist. Several other beast clan demigod powerhouses were also besieged by demigod angels. Demigod angels such as Elena, Ida, Sally, Sandy, Angel of Retribution Caroline, etc., all participated in the battle. Not only do they have individual strength advantages, but they also have a large number of them, directly rendering those beast clan demigod powerhouses completely defenseless. After a few rounds, several beast clan demigods were killed by them. Among them was a demigod-level golden behemoth. The towering body of the behemoth, reaching tens of meters in height, appeared extremely powerful, but it was directly cut in half by the 10-winged seeker angel Sandy's holy retribution divine arts. It was truly ruthless. Stop. I surrender. On the battlefield, many beast clan powerhouses couldn't hold on and shouted to surrender. And it wasn't just one, there were many. Not only did they suffer the violent attacks of the high-ranking angels, but their former comrades also joined forces with the angels to besiege them. Coupled with the constant torment of faith-based divine arts on their souls, their mentality completely collapsed. And angels have always been merciful towards creatures willing to embrace the holy light. They spared their lives immediately, and at the same time, they used faith-based divine arts to completely purify their souls. Damn traitors! The beast god will not forgive you. The beast Emperor Webster roared in anger. His lion mane stood on end, his pupils blood-red, appearing insane. The high-ranking members and powerhouses of the empire, like falling dominoes, gradually chose to submit to the holy light. This means that his empire is rapidly heading towards destruction. Just yesterday, he was still a carefree beast emperor. In the blink of an eye, the empire is gone. No matter who this happened to, they wouldn't be able to bear it. Your Majesty, please stop resisting. Surrender, embrace the holy light, and find eternal life in the Lord. A purified high-ranking member of the beast tribe was persuading Beast Emperor Webster. In response, the enraged Beast Emperor unleashed a powerful attack, obliterating his body and scattering it into a mist of blood. Who else wants to surrender? Beast Emperor Webster shouted angrily at the beast tribe leaders and powerful warriors on the battlefield while fending off the attacks from the War Angel twins. On behalf of the beast god, I will slay all the traitors who have abandoned their faith. Seeing the seemingly insane Beast Emperor Webster, many beast tribe leaders and warriors who were about to lay down their weapons regained their spirits. They fought against the angels while keeping their distance from Beast Emperor Webster, so as not to be killed by him when they eventually had to surrender. Just then, a radiant holy light swept through. The high-ranking beast tribe member who had just been obliterated by Beast Emperor Webster's attack was resurrected before everyone's eyes. As soon as he was resurrected, he quickly fled. The resurrection magic of the Angel of Love did not involve time reversal, so he retained the memory of being killed by Beast Emperor Webster. With an ecstatic expression, the beast tribe high-ranking member shouted, "Webster, do you see this? This is the blessing of the holy light. In the presence of the Lord of Holy Light, the beast god is nothing more than a weak true god. Praise the holy light, praise the Lord." Other beast tribe leaders and warriors who had embraced the holy light also shouted fervently. This scene directly shattered the will and spirit of the remaining resisting beast tribe warriors. To be completely obliterated and yet come back to life, bouncing around as if nothing happened, was beyond their comprehension. It also made them more in awe of the power of the Holy Light faction. Damn it! Beast Emperor Webster was furious. At the same time, he felt a sense of fear. He had not expected the angel's abilities to be so terrifying. To think that even the dead could be resurrected. However, when he thought about the Radiant Land's holy sea, he realized that it seemed normal for angels to possess such abilities. In the holy sea, there was a forbidden technique called great healing magic. It was said that this forbidden technique could bring the dead back to life, flesh and bones. As long as the time of death did not exceed 3 days and the soul had not been extinguished or transformed into an undead, the deceased could be resurrected with the help of great healing magic. Even followers of the Holy See could achieve such feats. So it was not surprising that angels could do it too. After all, most of the secret arts of the Holy See were derived from angelic magic, such as great healing magic, great prophecy magic, judgment light, and divine judgment, among others. Unfortunately, understanding this only made him more acutely aware of the terror of angels. It didn't offer much help to him, who was on the brink of life and death. He was still under attack from the 2 war angels, and the situation was becoming increasingly dangerous. Suddenly, a dazzling sword light struck the Beast Emperor Webster. Instantly, blood sprayed out. It could be seen that the battle armor he was wearing had been torn apart, with a huge sword mark on his chest, blood dripping from it. This was a demigod-level defensive battle armor. Its grade had reached supreme grade, but a sword from War Angel Euphile shattered it, causing all the magic runes attached to it to disintegrate, rendering it completely useless. Only a god-level blacksmith could possibly repair it. The Beast Emperor Webster endured the intense pain in his chest and quickly retreated, feeling extremely fortunate. If it weren't for the protection of the battle armor, that sword light would have already cut his body in half. The battle armor had saved his life. However, reality didn't allow him to feel fortunate for long. The two nearly identical twin war angels came rushing towards him again. Their expression on their beautiful cheeks was extremely cold, like two killing machines, making the Beast Emperor Webster feel the fear of death. At this point, he was basically at the end of his strength. At the same time, the war inside and outside the Beastmen's imperial capital had also reached a fever pitch. Countless Beastmen were fighting against Lin Yu's angel army on the battlefield. The deafening sound of war drums reverberated. These were war drums unique to the Beastmen, played with the help of tribal secret techniques. Not only could they boost the morale of the Beastmen's army, but they could also make the Beastmen on the battlefield forget fear and pain, effectively enhancing their combat power. Lions roared, minotaurs bellowed. Ferocious Kodo behemoths rampaged on the battlefield. Countless wolf cavalry, mammoth cavalry, and beastmen of various races fought against the angels according to their own ways of war. It was a very awe-inspiring scene. The scene on the battlefield vividly displayed the violence and primal beauty of the beastmen. Lin Yu, standing on the city wall of one of the throne angel cities, was deeply immersed in it. This kind of war was far more thrilling than any fantasy movie. Yes, Lin Yu had also arrived. Using the central teleportation array of the sacred city, he directly crossed thousands of kilometers and appeared on the battlefield. My lord. Secretarian appeared before Lin Yu with an elegant and beautiful figure, bowing respectfully. She stood half a step behind Lin Yu. 12-winged throne angel Vivian also appeared, standing in a position further behind, ready to obey the orders of the Lord of Holy Light. Lin Yu's gaze turned towards the floating spatial battlefield. In the ongoing war, more than 2,000 high-ranking and powerful beastmen who were originally imprisoned by Angelia have been killed, and over 3,000 beastmen strongmen have been brought down by the power of faith. Less than half of the remaining high-ranking beastmen and strongmen continue to resist. Among them, the most stubborn is the Beast Emperor Webster. This ruler of the Beastmen tribe, even in his weakest state, has never bowed his head to the holy light. His will is unbelievably firm. Even the power of faith from the angels seems unable to purify his soul. Angelia, who was standing by, was observant of Lin Yu's expression. Seeing Lin Yu looking at the Beast Emperor Webster, who was being suppressed and attacked by the two war angels, she said, "If my lord wishes to spare Webster's life, I can suppress him and forcibly implant the seed of faith in his soul using the power of the holy angels." "That won't be necessary." Lin Yu waved his hand and said, "Since this beast emperor wants to dedicate himself to the beast god he believes in, let him have his wish. Let him die at the hands of Ophiel and Oriel. It will be a fulfillment of his true value." The Beast Emperor Webster is a peak demigod-level powerhouse. After killing him, the twin war angels can obtain a huge amount of primal energy as a reward. By killing a few more enemies, the two of them might even be able to break through. Two demigod-level war angels are much stronger than a single lionhead monster of the same level. "My lord is merciful," Angelia timely flattered. Upon hearing this, the corners of Lin Yu's mouth twitched slightly. To kill someone and still be called merciful? It must be said that faith is terrifying. In the eyes of believers, whatever the god of faith does is always right. Lin Yu said, "In the underground world, the fallen angel legion led by Victoria and Priscilla has already captured the Spider Empire. The next step is to occupy the gold mines and eliminate other evil forces in the underground. The speed of your holy angels' war must also be accelerated. Conquer this floating island world as soon as possible and proceed to the myriad worlds battlefield." "Yes, my lord," Angelia respectfully said. "By this evening, our army will be able to conquer the beastmen on the battlefield. After clearing the remaining beastmen cities, tribes, and other local forces on Runkle Prairie tomorrow, we can march into the fertile land." In Secretary Anne's war plan, only 5 regions in the entire floating island world are worth sending the Holy Angels Army to conquer: Runkle Prairie, Bountiful Greatlands, Sacred Land of Elves, 36 Bay Islands, and the Medusa Empire located in the Deep Sea area. The remaining regions are not worth mentioning. Sending some troops from the kingdom would be enough to handle them. After thinking for a moment, Angelia continued, "With the power of fate, I have seen some future war scenes related to the Fertile Land. In 2 more days, the Dragon Legion from the 36 Bay Islands will appear on the battlefield of the Fertile Land, helping the kingdom of Kilias resist the army of the Holy See. We will attack the Fertile Land the day after tomorrow and annihilate the dragon race's army in one fell swoop." "That's good news." Lin Yu nodded and said, "Tonight, let's discuss the mysteries of the laws of fate. Through the laws of time, one can also see glimpses of future scenes. But they are not as clear as the laws of fate. Because everyone has an infinite future, the laws of time only reveal this infinite future, but it is difficult to determine what the true future will be. The laws of fate are different. They point directly to the essence of everything. Those who control the laws of fate can even determine the future of certain things. For example, Angelia, if she wants to intervene in the battle between the 2 war angels and the Beast Emperor Webster, and wants the Beast Emperor Webster to be killed by the 2 war angels in the next second, she only needs to use the power of fate. Forcefully sever the other fate threads entwined around the Beast Emperor Webster, leaving only the fate thread of being killed by the 2 war angels with a single sword. Then, the Beast Emperor Webster, with only this fate thread remaining, will no longer have any future possibilities of escape, evasion, or resistance, and will be directly killed by the 2 war angels with a single sword. Fate determines everything. This is the terrifying aspect of the laws of fate. Compared to the mysteries of the laws of time, the mysteries of the laws of fate are even more obscure and difficult to understand. It is believed that in the entire universe of myriad worlds, there are very few beings who can master the power of the laws of fate. The best way for Lin Yu to master the laws of fate is to have in-depth discussions and exchanges with Secretariat. The efficiency may be faster than trying to comprehend the laws of fate by creating them with the power of creation. And for Lin Yu's words, Angelia had no objections. She also looked forward to receiving the help of the power of creation from the Lord of Holy Light, so as to shake her almost fixed position. Roar! On the battlefield, the Beastman's Baiman Legion and the Kodo Beast Knight Legion are roaring and howling. With their massive size, they rampage through the battlefield. Even if there are beastmen blocking their way, they are directly knocked away or killed. Under the stimulation of the beastmen war drums, the already low-intelligence Baiman and Kodo beasts have fallen into a frenzy. They are determined to kill the angels on the battlefield, especially those Kodo beasts. They are like heavy tanks, charging across the battlefield. The earth trembles because of them. The beastmen knights riding on their backs can no longer control these restless Kodo beasts. Some beastmen knights are even thrown away, and before they can react, they are trampled into a pulp by the frenzied Kodo beasts. Almost all of the Kodo beasts have gone mad. This is rarely seen in previous wars. Normally, the war drums only make them more powerful, but they do not lose their sanity. The reason for this situation is that not only are they stimulated by the war drums, but they are also constantly tormented by the faith magic from the angels. Under the dual influence, their consciousness has become extremely chaotic, including the Baiman as well. However, the frenzy of these beastmen has not had any negative impact on the Angel Legion's siege. On the contrary, the unconscious and chaotic Baiman and Kodo beasts are easier to kill and purify. As radiant magic and angelic combat techniques bloom on the battlefield, large numbers of Baiman and Kodo beasts are being slaughtered in groups. At the same time, more Baiman and Kodo beasts have their souls forcibly purified by faith magic. After embracing the holy light, their consciousness instantly becomes clear, and they seem to have become smarter, perfectly cooperating with the Angel Legion's battle plan. As the war continues, more and more beastmen troops fall on the battlefield. Bloody corpses cover the ground, and blood flows like rivers. Countless beastmen troops bow their heads to the faith magic and become followers of the holy light. Among them, in addition to the apex-level troops such as Baiman and Kodo beasts, there are also fierce lion people, tiger people, bear people, and so on, as well as the extremely beautiful fox people, clam people, and others. The clam people originally belonged to the Sea tribe. Later, For some unknown reason, they joined the beastmen's camp. The clan people are generally small in size. They look like pocket-sized creatures. Even compared to goblins, they appear tall and mighty. But do not underestimate the fighting power of the clan people. They all have wings adorned with colorful pearls, and they can fly at extremely fast speeds. Moreover, they are small targets, making it difficult to lock onto them. On the battlefield, the clan people generally play the role of assassins. Unfortunately, the clan people's assassination skills are not very effective against angels. Just in terms of speed, they are suppressed by the angels. In addition, their spiritual will is quite fragile, and their faith magic can easily convert those clan people into followers of the holy light. Standing on the City of Angels wall, Lin Yu can clearly feel the connection of faith between him and the beastmen followers, and this connection is constantly increasing. The angelic and undead forces have a very magical commonality. That is, during war, the number of their own forces will increase as the battle progresses. The difference is, angels use faith to convert enemy forces, while the undead, after killing enemy forces, convert them into undead creatures of the same faction. It can only be said that the process is different, but the result is the same. As time passes, the size of the beastmen army on the battlefield is visibly decreasing. One battle circle after another is continuously compressed. At the beginning of the war, the beastmen's army had an absolute advantage in terms of size, and each angel legion would face several times more enemies. But now, the situation is different. The size of the angelic camp is growing as the battle progresses. The total number has exceeded 5 million. Apart from over 2 million angels, all the others are beastmen troops who have had their souls purified and become followers. These beastmen followers, led by the Angel Legion, are conducting the final extermination of the remaining beastmen forces on the battlefield. The first battle to end was the floating space barrier battlefield. The high-ranking angels led by Ophiel and Oriel, the twin war angels, took less than an hour to completely defeat all the high-ranking beastmen and strong warriors. All the die-hard individuals were killed. Those willing to believe in the Lord of Holy Light were purified with divine magic. This includes the peak saint rank and the demigod-level beastmen strong warriors. Beast Emperor Webster is also dead, and he died quickly. Before the barrier war was over, he was killed by the two sisters Ophiel and Oriel, and a very luxurious crown was also found. This is the Beast Emperor's crown, at least a demigod-level artifact. It was precisely because of the fall of Beast Emperor Webster that the war inside the barrier could end faster, and many beastmen high-ranking individuals and strong warriors who were still holding on chose to surrender. At the same time, the beastmen army on the ground battlefield completely collapsed. The death of the Beast Emperor caused countless beastmen troops to lose their faith. They dropped their weapons and knelt on the ground. And the target of their worship was Lin Yu, standing on the City of Angels wall, who had become their new god of faith. Angelia's predictions were very accurate. By the time evening arrived, the war in the beastmen's imperial capital had completely ended. With the continuous arrival of beastmen legions from other cities and tribes, the total number of beastmen troops involved in the war reached a terrifying scale of nearly 10 million. However, even so, the beastmen were unable to protect their imperial capital under the attack of the angelic army. Of the nearly 10 million beastmen troops, about one-third perished on the battlefield, while the remaining two-thirds became followers of the holy light under the purification of paradise magic and faith magic. This war provided Lin Yu with a total of 6 million beastmen troops turned followers. Among them were powerful species such as Baiman, Kodo Behemoth, and Golden Lion. There were also countless beautiful beast-eared girls such as Fox, Clam, Butterfly, and Swan, who have now all become Lin Yu's followers. If Lin Yu were a bit more radical, having a harem of 30,000 beauties would be a simple matter. Moreover, they would all be composed of different races. Just this alone would be enough to make tens of millions of professionals on the island envious. Under the gaze of countless kneeling beastmen, the massive beastmen imperial capital began to tremble. Countless magnificent buildings collapsed. In the blink of an eye, the ancient imperial capital that had stood on Runkle Prairie for who knows how many years turned into a chaotic ruin, and all the idols of the beast gods collapsed. From the start of the war to the destruction of the Beastmen's imperial capital, the Beastmen's divine beings did not display any miracles. Unlike when the angelic army captured the royal capital of the mountain giant kingdom, where a Titan godlord's consciousness descended, attempting to challenge Secretary In and protect the mountain giant kingdom from destruction. The divine beings of the Beastmen camp, however, remained silent. It was unclear whether they did not receive a signal, or if they were afraid of the angelic race and dared not show themselves. Of course, this is not important. What is important is that with the destruction of the Beastmen's imperial capital and the death of the Beast Emperor Webster, the Beastmen's royal court has become a thing of the past in Runkle Prairie's history. It is believed that soon, a new ruler will emerge in this vast and boundless grassland, and this ruler will bring a bright future for the indigenous races on the Great Prairie. After the collapse of the Beastmen's imperial capital, the angels began to build teleportation arrays on the ruins and surrounding battlefields. They also teleported the captured spoils of war and resources to the sacred city, located in the dark forest. In addition, many elderly, weak, sick, and disabled beastmen were also transported there. Although these beastmen were unable to serve Lin Yu on the battlefield for various reasons, they still had their uses, which was to provide Lin Yu with the power of faith. Fanatical level faith. Coupled with the amplification from the Paradise Angel, Lin Yu could obtain immense power of faith from them. Furthermore, they could also perform logistical work and silently contribute to the development of Paradise Kingdom behind the scenes. In short, guided by faith, each and every one of them could unleash their maximum value. Next are the 6 million elite beastmen troops that surrendered. They will follow in the footsteps of the angelic army and eliminate the remaining beastmen cities, tribes, and other indigenous strongholds on Runkle Prairie. Both Lin Yu and Secretary In plan to complete this task within tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, the angelic army will ride on a throne angel city and head to the battlefield of the bountiful Great Lands, where they will join forces with the army of the Holy Sea of Light. My lord, Angelia respectfully handed Lin Yu a spatial ring. Inside the ring were spoils of war, including gold coins, equipment, and blueprints. Lin Yu also witnessed the process of the angelic army cleaning up the battlefield, so he knew that the harvest from this war was astonishing, with a large number of equipment obtained. A rough estimate would be at least 200,000 pieces or more. With so much equipment, it would be enough to help Lin Yu collect tens of millions of gold coins from the hands of professionals on the island. And this is one of the things that makes Lin Yu the happiest. He transferred the spoils of war from the ring to his personal spatial divine weapon, and at the same time, with a thought, a crown that looked extremely magnificent appeared in his hand. This was the Beast Emperor's crown, originally belonging to the Beast Emperor Webster. After being equipped and revealed, any professional could use it. Beast Emperor's crown. Type: Special Defense Equipment. Grade: Supreme Grade Demigod. Durability: 100,000 points. Special Effect 1. The wearer will be bestowed with the identity of the Beast Emperor, possessing great deterrence against all mortal-level beastmen. Special Effect 2. Soul Protection. Protects the wearer's soul. Special Effect 3. War Inspiration. Can enhance the combat power of beastmen within a radius of 10,000 meters. Special Effect 4. Introduction. This is the crown of the ruler of the beastmen, granting the wearer the authority to rule over the beastmen. However, it should be noted that non-beastmen wearing the crown may face the crazy retaliation of the beastmen. No wonder the Beast Emperor Webster can withstand the purification of faith magic multiple times. Apart from the firm will and unwavering faith of the Beast Emperor Webster himself, the most important factor is the crown of the Beast Emperor in Lin Yu's hands. The soul of the Beast Emperor Webster is protected by this crown. What a pity. It's just a demigod artifact. Lin Yu was slightly disappointed. His perspective has been greatly elevated now. Demigod-level equipment is simply not impressive to him. When he established the Paradise Kingdom, Myriad World's floating island also rewarded him with a set of demigod-level equipment called King of Radiance. King of Radiance is an equipment set exclusive to ruling kings. Crown, armor, cloak, weapon, shoes, all the components of the set are included. The attributes are also much better than the crown of the Beast Emperor. Overall, it is comparable to a regular divine weapon. However, Lin Yu still treats King of Radiance as a collectible and stores it in his divine weapon space. His origin scepter is a super divine weapon, and the radiant divine armor he wears is a supreme grade supreme throne true god artifact. He also carries more than 30 divine weapons exchanged from the glory item menu. In this situation, where would Lin Yu find value in a mere demigod artifact? Without much thought, he casually put away this luxurious Beast Emperor crown, planning to reward it to a suitable candidate in the future. As for selling it on the island trading platform, that's definitely not an option. The professionals on the island are all too poor. Buying higher-level equipment and ordinary king-level equipment is fine, but demigod artifacts are simply unaffordable. Lin Yu turned his gaze to the beautiful secretary standing by his side and said, "Let the angel army and the beast tribe believers rest for a while, recover their strength and magic power. We'll start clearing Runkle Prairie later." It was already nighttime. Darkness, like the wings of demons, engulfed the entire Runkle Prairie. Countless undead creatures began to appear on the grassland. Numerous grassland monsters also emerged during the night. This time period in Runkle Prairie is extremely dangerous, far surpassing the daytime. However, for the Angel Army, it is an excellent hunting opportunity because there are countless monsters for them to kill and level up. After a short rest, a new round of hunting battles will begin again. "As you command, my lord." Angelia respectfully obeyed. She immediately conveyed Lin Yu's orders to the Angel Army and the Beast Tribe believers. Lin Yu didn't stay long and, with the elegant and beautiful secretarian, used the teleportation array to return to Sacred City. The first thing upon returning was, of course, to tally the gains from this war. All the unnecessary equipment and blueprints were put up for sale on the island trading platform. In addition to the 100,000 high-level equipment pieces crafted by the blacksmith workshop today, Lin Yu listed a total of 280,000 pieces of equipment for sale. There were still tens of thousands of supreme-grade high-level equipment pieces, as well as higher-level equipment such as king-level and transcendent equipment, which were all kept. These were the equipment for the apex-level units in the territory. For example, the Dark Elves, Nature Elves, and Naga, which were apex-level units. When they were born, they didn't have any equipment. Equipping these apex-level units with high-level equipment not only allowed them to unleash their maximum combat potential, but also helped them level up faster. As for the ordinary elite units, they didn't have such benefits, who made their growth potential low. In addition to equipment, Lin Yu also sold tens of thousands of bottles of potions. Although potions were disposable consumables, they were also very popular on the island trading platform. Especially when professionals wanted to defeat bosses, potions were their best choice for enhancement. Even if the price was high, they would still choose to buy them. After all, defeating bosses not only rewarded them with a large amount of primal energy. If they were lucky, they could also obtain supreme-grade equipment, which would be a big profit for them. After the tens of thousands of bottles of potions were listed, they were snatched up by professionals in less than 10 minutes, which directly confirmed the popularity of potions in the trading market. It was no less than supreme-grade equipment. Not long after, Lin Yu walked out of the Hall of the Overlord with hundreds of unit-quantity blueprints. As these blueprints disappeared, elite beast tribe units appeared on the territory square. Just this wave alone, Lin Yu gained hundreds of thousands of elite units and fanatic believers, including the powerful Baiman Legion and the Kodo Beast Legion. It can only be said that war is a highly profitable industry. The larger the scale of the war, the faster the snowball of the victor grows. The Overlord professionals on the island couldn't even imagine how big Lin Yu's gains from this war were. It could be said that it exceeded their understanding. After dealing with the other blueprints, Lin Yu returned to the Hall of the Overlord. He took out 2 dazzling golden stronghold treasure chests from the divine weapon in his space. Both were god-level stronghold treasure chests. They were obtained after destroying the Beastmen Imperial Capital and the Spider-Face Spider Imperial Capital. When the fallen angel army captured the Spider-Face Spider Empire, they also obtained a large number of stronghold treasure chests, all of which Lin Yu had already opened. Lin Yu took a deep breath. Then, he opened both god-level stronghold treasure chests at the same time. The brilliant golden light illuminated the world before Lin Yu's eyes. The scene was more stunning than any stronghold treasure chest he had opened before. It truly gave him a feeling of a golden legend. After a moment, 2 massive god-level stronghold treasure chests were opened, and a series of information prompts appeared in Lin Yu's mind. Congratulations, Lin Yu Overlord. You have successfully opened 1 god-level stronghold treasure chest. You have obtained 1 million units of food, wood, stone, and iron ore each. You have obtained 300,000 gold coins. You have obtained 1 Dark Law origin and 1 Blood Law origin. You have obtained 2 cities subsidiary building blueprints. You have obtained 1 Spider-Face soldier building blueprint. You have obtained... Congratulations, Lin Yu Overlord. You have successfully opened 1 god-level stronghold treasure chest. You have obtained food, wood. You have obtained gold coins. You have obtained 1 golden behemoth building blueprint. You have obtained 1 soul law origin. You have obtained 1 cross-dimensional teleportation blueprint. You have obtained 200,000 reputation points and 100,000 glory points. Looking at the information prompts, a smile appeared on Lin Yu's handsome face. Indeed, the god-level stronghold treasure chest did not disappoint him with the items it yielded. Besides the 2 building blueprints, he directly obtained 3 law origins, one of which was even the primal force of the soul law, which was considered extremely lucky. It is well known that there are various types of law forces in the world. Each type of law force is a key to unlocking the path to godhood. However, laws can be strong or weak. Controlling a powerful law force would result in stronger divine power after ascending to godhood. Among them, the soul law is an extremely powerful law force. It can not only cause terrible damage to the souls of enemies in battle, but also protect one's own soul from enemy secret attacks. The souls of living beings are fragile. Once a soul is extinguished, even a god would find it difficult to be reborn. Lin Yu's strength was already formidable, but he was still a blank slate in the realm of the soul. Now that he had the soul law origin, he could strengthen his own soul. At the same time, it would make his life form more perfect. However, among all the items in the treasure chest, what Lin Yu paid the most attention to were not the law origins or various building blueprints, but the cross-dimensional teleportation blueprint. As the name suggests, once the cross-dimensional teleportation blueprint is used, he can travel to other worlds. But whether it would teleport him to the Blue Star or to other floating island worlds, Lin Yu did not know. So he immediately communicated with Myriad Worlds Floating Island to inquire. Soon, he received a reply from Myriad Worlds Floating Island. After using the cross-dimensional teleportation blueprint, Overlord will be randomly teleported to a floating island world related to the current planet, and the number of people teleported must not exceed the scale of a medium-sized legion. Lin Yu's home planet was the Blue Star. There were a total of 14 floating island worlds related to the Blue Star. In other words, this cross-dimensional teleportation blueprint could randomly teleport Lin Yu or one of his legion units to 13 other floating islands. For other overlords, this cross-dimensional teleportation blueprint might not be of much use. But for Lin Yu, it was extremely valuable. Originally, he thought he could only wait until he conquered the current floating island and became the lord of the island before he could engage in cross-dimensional warfare. Now, with this cross-dimensional teleportation blueprint, he didn't need to wait at all. He could directly open the door to cross-dimensional warfare. Lin Yu immediately took out the blueprint and handed it to Secretarian beside him. After reading the information on the cross-dimensional teleportation blueprint, Angelia said, "My lord can send a medium-sized angel legion to the other world, led by Rebecca." Rebecca was one of the 12-winged throne angels. She was at the peak demigod level. Lin Yu said, "I trust Rebecca's abilities, but conquering a floating island world may be a bit difficult with just a medium-sized angel legion." Even though this medium-sized angel legion had several demigod-level angels, the total number was only a little over 5,000. It seemed a bit challenging to use 5,000 angels to fight against an entire world. Angelia said, "My lord, don't worry. Once Rebecca's angel legion captures a stronghold in the other world and builds a teleportation array, I can use the power of spatial laws to create a temporal passage and teleport more angel legions over. Local strongholds can be destroyed or occupied." Lin Yu had always chosen to destroy the local strongholds he conquered in order to obtain more building blueprints and stronghold treasure chests. Angelia's suggestion was to occupy the strongholds. Using the stronghold as a base, they would build a teleportation array. Once her consciousness was connected to the teleportation array, she could create a temporal passage, allowing the other legions under Lin Yu's command to be easily transported. "That's great." Lin Yu immediately agreed. He immediately issued the order to recall Rebecca and her medium-sized angel legion from Runkle Prairie to the sacred city. Also recalled were the tin-winged seeker angel Sandy, the holy light elemental elf Lilith, the Lich King, and the sanctum dragon Oster. With Rebecca, there were now 5 demigods going on this expedition, which should be enough to handle any problems they encountered.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.